Big good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, help promote and rank up my channel. So we're going to be reviewing Thunder Force, a Netflix original 2021 film starring Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer, Jason Bateman. Written and directed by Ben Falcone, I think. Yeah, Ben Falcone. So normally, I have a positive section, I have a negative section, and sometimes even a personal bias section. On paper, this film sounds like it could be good. In a world where supervillains are commonplace, there's no heroes up until Thunder Force.
For the first time in history, we're seeing real-life superheroes.
But these two childhood friends become estranged and reunite later.
To see Emily Stanton.
Do you have an appointment?
I'm her best friend. We're not currently what I would say best friends.
One becomes a sort of average Joe, and the reason they drifted apart because the other one was hell-bent on figuring out a way to develop superpowers.
I've been developing a genetic platform that will allow us to give ordinary people superpowers.
And get justice for her family who died at the hands of these supervillains.
We're seeing a new kind of criminal.
All that sounds really good, right? But I'm just gonna be as blunt and straightforward as this film was.
Deserves what's coming to it. Boom.
There's no positive section because all I could say is there's notable actors in here, a decent budget, an interesting story on paper, a concept at the least, but for the most part the execution is just god-awful, sloppy, stupid, thoughtless, and brain dead. Melissa McCarthy is somebody who's drawn to these kind of roles, just kind of phoning it in like Adam Sandler.
Dear God, Lydia. Do you have any idea what you've done?
She used to be... She has range, she has talent. I don't know why she does this, because, I mean, back on, like, Gilmore Girls or whatever, she had range for that character, but has since become more popular, and more popular for playing these kind of brain-dead goldfish roles. So, the movie is just really bad and all over the place. What causes them to drift apart? There's no tension in them reuniting or anything. It's just like she comes there to reunite with her friend to drag her to a high school reunion, comes to her rich-ass complex and all that, and even the receptionist was like, oh, I thought that would have went differently. She's just invited up where she's left alone with access to this expensive stuff that the other girl's been working forever on, and consequently leaving her alone leads to her taking a treatment that would have led to the other girl getting super strict.
Dear God, Lydia. Do you have any idea what you've done?
And the powers aren't even consistent with themselves. One develops invisibility, one's to develop super strength, but with super strength doesn't come the ability to do backflips on moving cars.
How can we not stop two chicks in their 40s?
Why they're driving down the road or anything like that. So there's superhuman reflexes in here too. This story is really poor and all over the place. The bad guy in the film, called the King, who's sort of organized these. And there are no superheroes in this world. Everybody's been supervillains up until Thunder Force, up into these two girls right here. For some reason,
For the first time in history, we're seeing real-life superheroes.
everybody else has been supervillains, and they're called miscreants. And you have this guy referred to as the King running for mayor or for re-election. I don't know exactly, but he presents it as he's out to get them, and that's what's driving him up in the polls, that he's out to solve the problem that is the supervillains. And for some reason, he just straightforward reveals that he's in league with them, he's organized them and everything, and he reveals that to these people who are parading around as superheroes, the Thunder Force, which is just baffling. You have interactions in here with Jason Bateman, who plays this kind of crabman supervillain.
The hell are you?
You'd think cancer, but
Who takes in it, there's no real explanation for why he's in league with murderers or anything, because he has a conscience. He isn't into murder or any of that, and he's just got lobster claws. How useful is he being the boss's right-hand man? There's just all kinds of problems with this movie that I could get into, and the structure is god-awful. The structure of this movie, you could have had some really interesting things happen in here, but you didn't. First of all, the miscreants are... Other than this guy who wants to be mayor, who's organized a few minor miscreants, there's no elaboration on how many supervillains there are or anything like that. Now, granted, and I didn't find this movie funny at all. I didn't laugh once. My fiance and my mother did laugh. So maybe maybe the jokes are more funny for women, or I don't know. But I just didn't find it funny. The story is almost non-existent. It's very flimsy. These two girls get superpowers. They take these treatments, and this other guy just kind of like, oh well, they're gonna get in my way if I need to win this election. They're gonna get in my way. We need to recruit them. So he reveals himself to them. It's just so terrible in execution, in everything they do. You could have had it been so interesting. You could have presented this king guy as a good guy and really sold us that he's a good guy, build up tensions where he's turns out to be the bad guy and he's in league with these people all along. Now, they did nothing interesting in here where it sets up tensions. Not even these two estranged friends, the reason they fell out. They just reunited. Don't mention that they fell out at all. It's just like, oh, hey, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? They're just all buddy again. No confrontation. No, it's just bad. There's no tension, substance, depth, anything in here that makes it an enjoyable film or really a credible story to any degree at all. It's just two women parading around. I don't know what to say about this film, honestly. It sucks. Action-wise, sucks. Execution sucks. Story sucks. The acting, I mean, they're just playing a bunch of one-dimensional characters. Everybody in here is playing a one-dimensional character. So there's really not much to say about the acting either. They have a decent soundtrack, I'll give them that. The special effects aren't so bad. But that's it. So I would give this a 5 out of 10. This is just me being as blunt and straightforward as the movie itself is. This movie is... I'm giving it an average score, a 5 out of 10. But honestly, it's a little bit below that with the kind of budget they have, the kind of actors they have. They could have done something more, something better. They do have something there to work with, and they do have characters there to work with, where they could have really built them up to be really interesting. Instead, everybody's just one-dimensional, and there's nothing to this movie. If you like lowbrow humor, Adam Sandler style humor, or Melissa McCarthy style humor, this movie will be for you. This movie will make you laugh. It's just a mindless film that's an adventure. That 5 out of 10. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this film. Fake Goodwin here. Eventually, we will.